Today, I'm excited to share with you 12 polo brands. All have a sell-through rate over 100%, and the last two even have a sell-through rate of 400 and 500%. So let's dive right in. The first brand is the brand Unreal with a current sell-through rate of 118%. Keep in mind, sell-through rates are constantly changing. There are currently 88 active listings, and then when we filter to solds, we see there are 104 that have sold within the past 90 days. And these are selling for right around that $30 mark. This one went for $27 plus shipping, $26 plus shipping. And here is the label. The brand is spelled UNRL, but it's pronounced Unreal. Number two is the brand Primo with a sell-through rate of 109% currently. There are 31 active listings and 35 that have sold recently. Now this one is a smaller golf company, so it's not as prolific as some of these bigger brands, but it's a popular brand right now and a good one to keep an eye out for. We can see that the polos are bringing in right around that $30 mark again. This one went for $35 plus shipping, another for $35 plus shipping, $39 plus shipping. So decent money for polos. And here is the label. Also, this triangle that makes the eye in Primo is their logo. Oftentimes you will see that on the outside of the shirt as well. Number three is Ministry of Supply with a sell-through rate of 135%. We have 50 that are currently active and filtering to solds, 69 that have sold. These are selling for around that $30 mark. This one, it's long sleeve polo, so it went for a little more, 42 plus shipping. Another short sleeve that went for 35 in shipping, 25 in shipping. Let me show you the label. The label says that it's the winner of NASA's Innovation Excellence Award for its incredible NASA-based temperature regulation. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and this is definitely more of a unique tag. So it will hopefully be an easy one to remember. Number four is Barstool Sports with a sell-through rate of 124%. We can see that there are 99 active listings, and then filtering to sold, 123 have sold recently. Barstool Sports is an interesting one because it's actually a sports and pop culture blog. Now they do sell some of their own merchandise, so you will see some shirts that say Barstool, but they also have a lot of collabs with different brands. So I'll show you a couple of examples so you know what to keep an eye out for. You can see this polo sold for $28 plus shipping. It was a collab between Unreal and Barstool. There are collabs with Nike, some more Unreal. Here's a Roback collab. So this polo is actually an Unreal polo, but they collabed with Barstool. So this is the logo you're going to want to keep an eye out for. It's literally a Barstool. And then like I mentioned, they do sell their own merchandise as well. So here is a Barstool golf polo. So if you come across Barstool, whether it's its own merchandise or a collab with another brand, it's definitely worth looking up. It's pretty popular right now and has a high sell-through rate, as you can see. So definitely one to keep an eye out for. Number five is Birdie with a current sell-through rate of 112%. There are 863 active listings and 968 that have recently sold. And this is a great brand. This is one of my personal favorites. They have some really cool, unique golf polos. And you can see that they can bring in good money, 54 plus shipping, a 34 plus shipping, 30 plus shipping. So I would say safely $30 and up depending on the design. It seems a lot of times the louder, more unique the print, the better. And here is the label. And generally you'll see their logo here on the front under the buttons as well. Number six is the brand Scotty Cameron with a sell-through rate over 100%. Now this one's kind of unique as well. Most of the time, Scotty Cameron does a collab with another brand. And the one I was seeing the most was a Scotty Cameron collab with Peter Millar, especially the Peter Millar Summer Comfort Polo. That specific combo had a sell-through rate of 177%. Peter Millar polos just by themselves only have a sell-through rate of around 35% when I checked. But when Scotty Cameron is on that polo as well, it significantly increases the sell-through rate. So I would say it's similar to the Barstool brand. If you come across a polo with Scotty Cameron on it, regardless of the brand, it's definitely worth taking a minute to look it up. We can see here, searching just for Scotty Cameron men's polos, there are 158 active listings. And then filtering to solds, we see 283 have sold. So here's a great example. This is a lot of two Scotty Cameron Summer Comfort polos for $140. Here's another Scotty Cameron Peter Millar sold for $60 plus shipping. Another one, $60 plus shipping. So you can see that this combo brings in great money also has a great sell-through rate. So let me show you label. Here is Peter Millar Summer Comfort. And then this little Scotty dog is the logo for Scotty Cameron. And then on the sleeve, it says Scotty Cameron. So you definitely want to keep your eye out for this. Number 7 is Arc'teryx with a sell-through rate of 127%. We can see there are 385 active listings, and then filtering to solds, there are 491 that have sold. I know Arc'teryx is a more well-known brand at this point, but with such a high sell-through rate, it's worth mentioning. And the polos are going for decent money. This one went for $35 plus 6 shipping. Some of these were best offers around that $30 mark. So nothing crazy, but a solid, fast-moving brand. Let me show you the label. You probably are already familiar with this one, but just in case, here it is. Number 8 is the brand Rhone with a sell-through rate of 111%. There are 512 active listings, and filtering to solds, 570 that have recently sold. And these are selling for around that $25, $30 mark. This one went for $26 plus shipping, $22 plus shipping. So I'd say between $20 and $30 you could safely expect to get. And here is the label. Number 9 is Psycho Bunny with a sell-through rate of 120%. 981 are currently active for men's polos, and then filtering to sold, 1,200 have sold. And I'm seeing these sell around $20 to $30 roughly. Some a little bit more. This one sold for $40 plus shipping, another $40. And here's one that even went for $50 plus 8 shipping. So it's going to depend on the polo, of course. And here is the label. And then generally you'll see this logo on the outside of the shirt as well. Number 10 is Sunday Swagger with a sell-through rate of 218%. There are 132 active listings, and then filtering to solds, 289 have sold recently. These are selling for right around $30 to $40. This was $34 plus shipping, $35 plus shipping. This one reminds me a lot of Bad Birdie. It has a lot of unique, loud graphics and colors. And let me show you the tag. And sometimes it will have Sunday Swagger on the sleeve as well. Number 11 is Sunspel with a sell-through rate of 475%. We can see there are 51 active listings, and then filtering to solds, 253 have sold recently, and these sell for decent money. This one was, granted it's a long sleeve polo, but it was $50 plus 7 shipping. Here's a short sleeve that sold for $40 plus 15 shipping. Sunspel is a British luxury brand, and here is the tag so you know what to keep an eye out for. And number 12 is the brand Roback with a sell-through rate of 557%. Maybe you guessed that one. This is a super popular brand right now, and these shirts have an insane sell-through rate. We can see there are 269 active listings. And we see there are 1,500 that have sold, and these sell for good money, $55 plus 7 shipping, $44 plus shipping, $65 plus shipping. Granted, this is a long sleeve, so you're going to get a little more for that. I'd say around $50 to $60. And then this one even went for $80 plus shipping. So great money to be had. And here's the label. And usually this dog logo is also on the outside of the shirt as well, so it's pretty easy to spot. I have a few honorable mention brands as well. The first is William Murray with a sell-through rate of 73%, so it didn't quite hit that 100% mark, but it's still a great brand to be aware of. You can see here that there are 1,000 active listings, and when we filter to solds, we can see 734 have recently sold, and these are selling for around $30 plus shipping. Some of these were a little lower. This one was about $20 total. So I would say around $20 to $30 with this brand. And here is the label. And keep an eye out for that logo as well, right here. McCade Golf actually has a high sell-through rate at 123%. However, I didn't put this on the list because there just aren't a lot on eBay. We can see that there are 17 active listings, and then filtering to solds, we see that 21 have sold. So either they're just really hard to find out in the wild, or people aren't really familiar with this brand or aware of this brand and don't pick it up very often to resell on eBay. I'm not sure which it is. But if you're lucky enough to come across this brand, it's definitely worth looking up and considering picking up. This one sold for $35 plus shipping, $25 plus shipping. Makeda is a Swedish company. Here is the tag, so you know what to keep an eye out for. And then this logo, which is a bird, is often on the outside and sometimes on the back below the collar as well. And lastly, I thought it would be interesting to find a few exceptions within brands that we normally don't pick up that actually do well or have high sell-through rates. And the first was Tommy Bahama Disney or Mickey embroidered shirts were selling really well. They had over 100% sell-through rate. There are 28 that have sold within the past 90 days, so not a lot. I feel like we come across a lot of polos, and Tommy Bahama is generally one that we don't pick up unless there are certain exceptions like this. So you can see that this has the embroidered Mickey on the front of it, and it sold for $35 plus 8 shipping. This one sold for $75 plus free shipping. Granted, it's big 2XL, which is a great size, but even the size medium sold for $50. So it's a great one to keep an eye out for and be aware of. I'll show you up close. This one says Tommy Bahama Island Zone. And then here is the embroidered Mickey Mouse with his slippers and his island gear on. The last brand with some exceptions I wanted to highlight was FootJoy. As a whole, FootJoy polos only had a sell-through rate of around 23%, which of course is low. But if you come across a larger size like 3XL, those polos had a sell-through rate of 250%. So if you've spent time selling clothes already, this is probably not a new tip to you, but if you're new, if you come across a brand that you normally wouldn't pick up, but it's in size 3XL, it might be worth considering picking up. This is a great example of that. And the other thing I wanted to point out with FootJoy, and I'm sure this could carry over into other brands as well, I didn't do specific research on that, but if you come across a FootJoy polo that's co-branded with Titleist, that could be a great pickup. You can see here there are 405 active listings, and then filtering to sold, there are 599 that have sold, which is well over 100%. And some of these are bringing in good money, 40 plus shipping, 50 plus shipping, 30 plus shipping. Some aren't quite as high, so it's going to depend on the shirt and the condition, of course. But I just wanted to point out a few exceptions like this to keep an eye out for. I feel like it's easy to just write off certain brands, but it's always a good reminder that sometimes there can be exceptions within a brand. Or if you come across bigger sizes or unique graphics or desirable co-branding or collabs, then it's always worth stopping and just taking a minute to look it up. If you enjoy this kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe. I put out a new video every week. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.